Going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. It was like that 2 years ago when we were over there. You know, our guys are used to that. You know, Jared and Pete haven't played in that environment yet. But, you know, Jared just, he doesn't seem to be affected by anything like that. To me, I haven't noticed it. And Pete's going to shoot, so where he is.
Any more update on Josh from what you said Monday?
He's working hard. You know, he worked hard yesterday. I would say doubtful for this game.
Okay.
But getting closer. He's got to be careful now how hard we push him and make sure he doesn't have a setback. That's where we're at with him. He's progressing just like we would like for him to.
It's going to be difficult for him to jump back. I mean, because your opponent's, he's going to be ready for Big Ten. How's that going to work with your rotation? Kind of.
You know what? We'll figure it out. I mean, you know, he'll work his way in. You know, we'll need him. You know, I don't disagree with you. You know, 11's a little bit harder than 10. You know, when you're trying to figure out playing time. But you know, it's a long, intense season, and he'll figure in prominently.
I know it's only been a third of the season, but did the thought of redshirting him ever cross your mind?
Absolutely. You know, and I think, you know, for him, it's going to be, you know, where is he a week from now? Where is he 10 days from now? So it's a possibility, but he wants to play. We want him to play. He should be ready to play. You know, he'll have the entire Big Ten schedule plus the Pine Bluff game, so it could be fine.
Is Zach playing about the way you thought he would? He seems to be kind of under the radar guy to a lot of people, but he seems to get a lot done in his minutes.
He is playing exactly like I thought he would, you know, based on how he prepared this summer. You know, we saw it in August overseas. You know, the shape he was in, best shape of his life, playing with great confidence. You know, he used to make some mistakes in games that he doesn't make. You know, he gets in foul trouble, but not like he used to. He doesn't turn the ball over at all like he used to. His game has really matured, and you know, he's always played, I think, with great confidence. He's never been afraid to shoot the ball late, make a play late. He's not afraid of anybody or anything. You know, he's not afraid of a challenge, and I'm really happy for him. I mean, he's really at the peak of his game, no question.
What can winning a game like Friday's do for you and your program here long term?
You know, I'm not worried about long term. I'm worried about, you know, what this team's going to do this year. Mm-hmm. You know, you beat another ranked team. It's you know, more for, you know, what this team's capable of doing in March.
Are Marble and Edgem underrated nationally?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't really pay that much attention, you know, how they're rated nationally. I mean, I know that I can't speak for Melvin, but I mean, Dev's getting some attention, you know, from the pros. You know, they're coming to watch him and they're talking to us about him. You know, I kind of look at it more from that standpoint than I do, is he going to make, you know, somebody's All-American team or All-Conference team. You know, if the pros are looking at you, then you're pretty good. They're looking at him.
What you've seen Edgem since he was a freshman. Where is he now compared to what he was, and just how would you describe him in general?
Well, you know, his role is different. You know, you look at Saturday, and he makes too big of shots of the game. You know, there's two big shots right there, and there was no panic in him. You know, I think offensively, he's in a different place. He was good when he was a freshman, very good. If I'm not mistaken, he had double figures against us the first time he played against us. But he's always been, you know, an athlete. He's been tough. He's been a rebounder. He's never been a big mistake guy. But you're seeing a guy now who has the potential to, you know, score a lot on any given day. And when he's making the three, because he can put it on the deck and he can get putbacks, there's a lot of ways he can score. You add the three ball in there, and pretty tough cover.
Rebounding is always a key in every game, but in this game is even more important. They usually have 5 guys on the.
They have 5 guys, and they really rebound offensively. I mean, you know, and when you have a point guard who's rebounding offensively, that changes a lot of things. Yeah. Well, Hoag's a guy that would make anybody concerned about, you know, because he's been so spectacular with his offensive rebounding.
You play in some of the best arenas in the country, 9 games a year, and counting your own as well. Where does Hilton Coliseum fit into Breslin Center, Assembly Hall, all those places?
You know, I think they're all about the same. You know, they're phenomenal environments with, you know, very intense fans. You know, you're playing a great team on their floor with their fans. Be a tough environment. You know, but I mean, if the place is sold out and it's electric, you know, once you get to that point, you know, they're all the same. That's what the Breslin Center is. That's what it's like in Wisconsin. That's what it's like in Hilton. At Michigan, that's what it's like.
Fran, all 4 of the teams are ranked, the men's and women here in the state. What's that say about the state right now?
You know, we have good teams, and you know, I think, you know, I don't often, you know, try to talk about the women's game and the men's game in the same way, because it's really a lot different. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, knowing our program and knowing the women's program there, I mean, they have been phenomenally consistent, both programs. That's hard to do. You know, I don't, you know, with what Lisa Bluter lost, I don't think anybody thought they'd be 10-1 right now. It's a credit to she and her staff and the players that they have, and you know, I think Iowa State's undefeated, so you know, pretty impressive. You know, our route, Fred's route's been a little different, but you know, 4 real good teams.
Fran, with your ability to go 10 deep, 9 guys, 10 guys, Fred's propensity to go, you know, 6, 7 guys each game, is foul trouble that much more important in a game like this early in the game?
Well, you know, the thing about it is, if he wants to go deeper, he can. He's got some guys. He's got Gibson, and he's got some guys. I mean, if he wants to, he just has chosen to, you know, keep his key guys out there a little bit longer. So, you know, I think anybody would want, you know, the other team's key people to be in foul trouble. He wants it for us. We would want it for them. And, you know, it's not like you could go in and say, okay, we're going to focus on one thing in it now. If you start doing that, you get all kinds of sideways. So we'll just play the game as it is and see what happens.
I think the fact you both ranked only the second time ever since you played, does it add to the hype, or is that totally?
Well, no, I
game's hyped
think
already?
I think it legitimizes everything. You know, you have 2 really good teams going at it, and that's, you know, I think when you're a player, you want to play in meaningful games. You want to play in a game that it means a lot to a lot of people. This game means a lot to a lot of people. It's an important game. It's why you work so hard. You know, it's an opportunity that, you know, you cherish and you'll remember, and you know, you want to play your best. You want to prepare your best. That's what we're going to try to do.
It's also one of the most unique rivalries in the country, where, as you mentioned, you're not in the same conference. You kind of play the game and then move on your separate ways. And how different is that, where it seems like it's the build-up's now and then it kind of subsides? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. You know, but it's just the way it is. You know, I've been through that before at other places. And it's always kind of interesting. You know, this is a little different. You know, when I was at Siena, I said, well, you know, Siena Albany, you can't compare. Well, it compares, because it's a big thing to both of them. I mean, it's a huge deal. No less intense on a smaller scale, just in the city, not in the state. Okay, it's the same deal. It was. They talked about the game prior to it made it seem like it was a national championship game, and then nobody talked about it again for 365 days. This is a little bit different in the sense that, you know, you guys will still talk about both programs, and I think a lot of people would like to see you know, both programs in the NCAA tournament and so forth. But everybody knows. I mean, the fans, you know, are you're with one or the other. That's kind of how it is. That's what a great rivalry is, and that's the way it's going to be Friday night.